Hello, welcome to Columbus, Ohio. This is Rachel Miller with Color Splash. I am about to make the last of the 3 tiles I'm doing today because I am out of my pearl base. This is, which I already put down on this tile. I'm working on a 6x6 bisque tile. Really excited because sometime in the next day or so I should be getting my 8x8 and 10x10 bisque tiles. I ordered them from blick.com and I am in love with them because what you see wet is what you see dry with these tiles, and I love that. Very little surprises with the way these dry. So I've been doing these tiles by shaping kind of a loose flower, and I'm gonna not do that this time around, and I think I'm gonna work in shades of blue. I'm gonna do some crisscrossing across the tile from corner to corner, starting simply with my favorite Payne's Gray shade by Arteza. In my opinion, the nicest Payne's Gray on the market, if you like a lot of blue in your Payne's Gray. Like, I have found that there's lots of gray and lots of blue in this particular paint, which makes it sort of unique. So I'm doing just a simple X across my tile. This does not need to be perfect. I mean, we're gonna get out a blow dryer and blow the paint around, so it's going to be moving no matter what I do here. All right, so there's my Payne's Gray, and I am going to immediately follow that with a color very similar, my Prussian blue, and I'm just gonna kind of maybe do a line, one line in each direction of my Prussian blue. And then I'm going to lay down one of the most important colors I use. It's called Parchment by Liquitex Basics. I also really like Titanium Buff by Amsterdam. I happen to be out of that one. I found that using these off-white colors brings a lot of added dimension to the pearls as they pop up. So I always use these off-white colors when working with pearls. It really just adds some extra oomph. At least I think so. I'm even gonna put some across the center this way. This is kind of a cool design just by itself, actually. Okay, next I'm going to use my Brilliant Blue by Amsterdam. And it is most assuredly brilliant. It is such a pretty color. I have grown really fond of this color and am just super mad at myself because I have been sitting on it for probably the better part of a year, and for whatever reason I have just been too chicken to use it. I don't really understand why, because it is such a gorgeous color. I think I thought it would overwhelm a painting, but it really doesn't. Not even a little bit. Next, I'm gonna grab and put down kind of an oddball. I'm gonna use this Iridescent Copper by Pebeo. Really gorgeous color when working with the darker blues. Especially up against indigo shades. It almost causes the blue to glow from within. So I am really fond of this combination. And I think think I'll even put a little bit going across this way. Okay, next I'm going to use my Turquoise Green by Amsterdam. Another really nice color. Really brings a bit of pop to the blues that I'm stacking together here. You know what color I'm missing? Oh, geez, I'm kind of mad at myself. I am missing my sky blue. Give me 1 second, guys. I knew something was missing. I hope this paint isn't too thick. It's been sitting in my closet. I apologize for walking away, but this color makes such a big difference when stacking blues. It's almost a shame to not use it. So this is called, well, I just made it really thin. That's all right. This is called Sky Blue by Amsterdam, and I made it so thin I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but we'll give it a try. I knew I was missing something from this lineup, dang it. That's super frustrating. I'll try putting some of it across this way. See if it'll jump out at all. I knew I was missing something. All right, next I am gonna grab my neutral gray color, also by Amsterdam. This is another one of those colors that I feel adds a lot of depth and dimension to the pearl cells. It's such a soft contemporary gray shade. I feel like everyone in my family decorates with this color but me. They all do very, very modern, very contemporary interiors. I'm much more eclectic, kind of artsy-fartsy sort of thing. Go figure. I think I'm going to put in a little bit of this, not a lot, but a little bit of this color I call Parakeet, which is just simply Amsterdam olive green light hue mixed with a little bit of the Artist Loft soft body white, pardon my reach, and then a small amount of Naples yellow, not very much, just enough to kind of brighten up that Parakeet green. I feel like my last batch of the Parakeet wasn't as nice as they usually are. Then I'm going to come back in with my Payne's Gray. Just hit this one more time. Okay. And I think that's got it. Now I'm just gonna, well, is this centered? Let me tilt this slightly, get it back to center. Okay. I'm actually shockingly level today. Sort of amazed. Usually my floors are slanted so dramatically, no matter how many shims I use, I'm not ever level. So now I'm going to put down a little cell activator in the center, and I always tend to put down way too much. So I'm going to try to control myself. It just never looks like enough to me in the moment, and then I start blowing it out and I'm like, oh shoot, it's way too much. You would think I would learn from my mistakes, but I go through this battle in my brain every single time. So now I've got my blow dryer on the low cool setting, and I'm just going to start by blowing straight down and kind of just gently spreading out my center. And then I'm going to work from into the corner. Ooh. Wow, wow, wow. Okay guys, I think this one's gonna be special. I know there's a lot of cell activator on here, but I just have a feeling about this guy. So I'm gonna grab my toothpick and a clean paper towel, and all I'm gonna do is, actually, I'm gonna take that back. First, I'm gonna blow a tiny bit of this cell activator off. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in a circle, and I'm just simply going to scratch the bottom of the tile with the toothpick, and in between each scratch, I'm going to wipe my toothpick off with the clean paper towel. And what I'm doing is creating a hole, a little canal in that cell activator where the paint underneath can come up and rise through it and create a pearl cell. Now, if I left this alone, this process would actually happen to a great degree on its own. But I definitely can speed it along this way and have a lot of control over where these pearl cells end up by using this toothpick method. And honestly guys, I kind of stumbled onto this method by accident. I was using a palette knife and accidentally scratched a section of my cell activator and watched in awe as lots of pearl cells came popping up, and I quickly grabbed a toothpick to continue on and was just amazed at how many pearl cells I could create using this method. And I'm not sure if you can see, but everywhere I'm scratching, you'll see a little white dot emerge. And that dot is quite literally paint rising up through the column of the cell activator and turning into a pearl cell. And what's really cool is that these pearl cells will have a white center, but then they have very colorful outer edges. I am in love with this tile already. The blues are unbelievable. I cannot wait to show you guys what's going on here. And I really like using the crisscross pattern. That gave me a much better distribution of color across the tile. I mean, I think part of the beauty of these pieces, my black hole pieces, is that there's a whole lot of black and white with the pearl cells, and then there's just big pops of color. It's not just one solid, single colorful thing. There's like white and then color, white and then color, white and then color. And I like that. It gives your eye a place to kind of rest. Well, maybe rest isn't the correct word, because I don't know if there's any rest in your eye when you look at this. This is pretty bold. I hope my rambling doesn't drive you guys nuts. I'm definitely what they call a talker. So I'm just kind of going round and round in a circle. Oh, wow. Ooh. One of these cells in particular is so gorgeous. Ooh, I can't wait to show it to you. Or show, yes. Goodness. My brain, I get so excited, I lose all ability to think. It's embarrassing. I'm definitely on a pearl kick. I have been working for the past year to come up with a recipe that will reliably give me these pearl cells. And it's been such a quest, because even though I found with previous recipes I'd get pearl cells, they'd dry real chalky and weird, and just didn't have the shine and shimmer that these have. So I've almost gotten my recipe perfect. I'm not quite there. I've had a couple ideas as to how to tweak it, make it a little bit better. Then I'm going to do a big video on how I make this. I will say it is kind of an expensive base to use. Satin enamel paint is not cheap. Oh shoot, I just saw a great big piece of dust fall into my paint. That stinks. I think it cost me about 10 bucks a quart to make this pearl base, which kind of stinks. Especially when you're on a limited budget like I am. But the results are so amazing, it's kind of impossible to not want to do it right. If you're gonna do something, do it right. That's what my dad always said. Okay. The cell activator is much thicker in the center where I initially poured it down, so getting these pearl cells to pop forward in the center is almost pointless. It's just too thick there. So let me just quickly scrape these sides. Oh my goodness gracious, this is a really cool tile, guys. Oh my gosh. I am so excited to show this to you. Now, please know these pearl cells are going to continue to grow. They're not going to stay quite so petite. They are going to grow over the next 10 minutes or so. All right, look at this. Look at these cells, guys. Are those not gorgeous, or are those not gorgeous? Wow. I mean, it almost looks like a cartoon, like it's animated. It's so vibrant. Look at how beautiful these cells are. And oh my gosh, that parakeet color is just like glowing. And these beautiful blues all interacting with that iridescent copper color. And now I don't know if you can see, but see the shading around these pearl cells? That is my actual parchment color. And that is what gives a whole lot. Oh, got paint peeling off my fingers. I'm trying to point, but it's not working out. That is what gives all of that added dimension, the grays and the parchment colors, to these pearl cells. If they were just flat white, they'd still be pretty, but they wouldn't have quite the texture that these have. Oh my gosh, this section is absolutely, let me shine the light down here. It's absolutely bananas. Look at the way these colors are glowing. Well, I hope you guys had fun doing this with me today. I've had such an awesome time painting this morning. I'm really bummed that I have to clean up and stop, but I'm out of paint, so there's kind of no other alternative. But I can't thank you enough for spending this past 20 minutes with me and watching me do this. Your support means so much. Please remember to click like and subscribe. That's so helpful to me. And as always, happy painting, y'all. Bye.